All right, Chris, what are you thinking today?
Man,
I saw the photograph you tweeted out, right, of him and Brady, Belichick and Brady with the 6 trophies
from the
together.
last ring ceremony. Just really cool and kind of encapsulates, the whole history of the 24 years. Kind of like you said on Monday, Rich, about the passing of time and our sports fandom. So many great memories. But look, I think we knew this was coming. I think it was one of those things. I was saying it last year that it seemed like it was just time for something different, time for new voices, time to move on. And Kraft is getting older, and he doesn't like seeing, the team not in the playoffs, the team not succeeding, not having some of the success that you're grown accustomed to after 20 years of dominance.
But this team, where I guess where I'd like to tap into for you, is they were the first in this century in New England to start it off.
Yeah,
and
totally.
it kind of broke one huge, massive dam, sports dam in that town.
Yeah, so I'm not
everyone.
I'm not a New England lifer. We moved there when I was 13, and so it was right when Drew Bledsoe got drafted, and that whole era with Ben Coates and all those guys, and Parcells was still the coach, and I remember the Super Bowl against the Packers and everything. But I think Bill Simmons said that he never expected the Patriots to ever win ever. They were the biggest losers in football. They were a laughing stock of the league, and then Bill comes, Tom happens. And then it was off. And then they became the gold standard for what every franchise is trying to live up to year in and year out. And 6 rings is insane. One coach, one player, to have that type of dominance.
And one owner. Don't forget him, man.
And Bob Kraft will be in the Hall of Fame someday with Tom and Bill. You can't say one without the other. And so I don't want to hear the whole argument of,
I know that.
Who is more responsible.
And I want to hit on that a little bit later on.
It's 50-50. They needed each other.
But this is, again, the Patriots did, then the Red Sox did, right? Then the Celtics did, and the Bruins. It just kind of just kept going and going and going.
Kept going and going. And it was, 20 years of just the greatest run and for Boston sports. And I don't want to be sad, and even though it is a sad day, I don't want to feel that way. Someone asked me to just rant. I'm like, there's nothing to rant about. Like I want to honor what Bill and Bob said today. It's a day of celebration. It's a day to remember the 24 years and all the wins and all the great moments and all the feels and how those 3 hours on Sunday and the Super Bowl made you feel as a fan and as a person, and going to the games and the pride to be able to wear Pat the Patriot and feel great about it. And
20 years.
That's what today's about. We can think about who's going to be the next head coach and argue about who deserve more credit and all of that. We can say that for a later day. But for today, it's a celebration. Bill was getting choked up talking about the fans and what it meant to him and how they made him feel and the appreciation that he felt. Thanked the assistant coaches and the equipment guys and everyone right down the line. And they were smiling. And Bob Kraft joked about wanting to give Bill a kiss, but he's been under the weather, so he won't do it. They're obviously at peace with it. And they have a great relationship. It was obvious. There's nothing, animus. It's not.
Well, at least not
hard feelings.
At least not publicly, and that I think was important for Kraft.
But they
and
put on a great face. They really did a great job today. With
I think we have the sound bites right here. Here's Bill Belichick again. Tom Curran, who is supposed to be on the program, but with all the moving parts, because we thought there was going to be a press conference at noon,
right,
and then it would be over, and then he would join us at the top of our third hour, 2 Eastern. But 2 Eastern is when Robert Kraft is coming back out to take questions from the media. And according to Tom Curran, this was the construct that Bill was comfortable with to be part of today's announcement. So Belichick spoke first, and this is what he had to say.
For me, this is a day of, gratitude and celebration. Start with Robert and his family. It's great. So much thanks for the opportunity to be head coach here for 24 years. It's an amazing opportunity. Received tremendous support. We had a vision of, building a winner, building a championship football team here. And that's exceeded my wildest dreams and expectations. The amount of success that we were able to achieve together, through a lot of hard work and, contributions of so many people. So I'm very proud of that. And I always have those great memories. I'll carry with those with me the rest of my life.
Mm.
It's going to be tough seeing him on another sideline, but I was thinking about that this morning. All of our greats end up playing for other teams. Tom Brady played for the Bucks. Paul Pierce played for the Nets and the Wizards and the Clippers.
It just feels weird and looks weird.
And Johnny Damon went to the Yankees, and it's one of those things you just kind of deal with. Fred Lynn went to the Angels. Ted Williams was the coach of the Senators. It's just one of those things that it happens. Mm-hmm. It's a part of sports, and you try to live in the moment and enjoy the run. Like Eminem said, when your run is over, just admit when it's at its end. And our run is over, and it was a great time, and I'll remember it forever. And you just hope there's another one someday.
Kraft spoke and had this to say.
The man standing to my left brought the leadership and coaching skills that were needed to make this type of unprecedented success that we have had possible. Coach Belichick will forever be celebrated as a legendary sports icon here in New England, and I believe go in as a Pro Football Hall of Famer on the first ballot. Why? Because he is the greatest coach of all times, which makes this decision to part ways so hard. But this is a move that we mutually agreed that is needed at this time. What Bill accomplished with us, in my opinion, will never be replicated. And the fact that it was done in the salary cap and free agency era makes it even more extraordinary. I thank Coach Bill for his hard work and dedication. It'll be difficult to see him in a cutoff hoodie on the sideline, but I will always continue to wish him continued success, except when he's playing our beloved Patriots. So I thank you all for coming here today and being part of this celebration.
Thank you. Thanks, Robert.
And then they shook hands, and looks like Bob went in for a hug, and I don't think Bill was in much of a hugging mood, but it was nice. The only weird part about it is I'll be straight up. It's what you always envision. I envision Bill leaving New England the way that Saban's leaving Alabama. When he wanted to. On his own terms, when it was all over. That's the way I always envisioned it, and I'm sure maybe Belichick did, and I'm sure Kraft did, and I'm sure Brady did while he was there being coached by Belichick and all of that, but that's part of our sports world as well. I said earlier this week about Michigan winning, it felt like it was the marking of time for me as a once-upon-a-time 18-year-old freshman falling in love with Michigan sports, and I'm 54 years old now, getting to feel the way that I've never felt before, thanks to my quarterback when I was an 18-year-old, now being the 60-year-old coach of the team. It kind of, always thought it would be Belichick maybe going off like Ray Lewis or Bettis or Elway or Strahan, right? Winning it all, hoisting and saying, I'm done. Peyton. And that's not happening because Kraft, I think, handled that part of the question of what next. Belichick did not, but what next is like, it'll be tough to see him in a cutoff hoodie somewhere else because he's going to go somewhere else. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.